Welcome back to DHN. I'm Wade Teamer. Immutable X has been on a tear this year. So glad that that was one of the picks that I made for the Elite 8. By far, my best crypto pick since I've been in the space, guys. For the year, Immutable is already up 220%. But let me show you this, guys. This is the all-time chart. That all-time high, 2021 peak bull run, almost $10. We got a long way to go. And with the latest developments that Immutable has been dropping since May 1st, guys, we're going to run it all down for you starting at the top of the year, because the last thing that we reported on was Immutable X opening up their rewards system. And you can see this is my account here. I only got a couple gems. I need to get back on my daily check-ins. But if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down to it as the pinned comment. But first up, for the month of May, they started very strong by partnering with Mon Protocol. Now, Mon Protocol will be in charge of recruiting games and IP for the Immutable chain. Story goes, the press release goes, Mon Protocol, the publishing protocol for blockchain native games and IP, has officially announced a partnership with Immutable, the leading Web3 gaming platform and ecosystem. With this agreement, Mon Protocol becomes a game and IP publishing partner of Immutable, and Tier 1 projects already vetted and supported by the company will be introduced on the protocol. Immutable will be leveraging expertise and resources from Mon to focus on social awareness, user acquisition strategies for Tier 1 gaming projects on its platform in accordance with its strategy of building a UA edge within the gaming ecosystem. So this is going to help build out the marketing side. It's going to help attract bigger IPs, bigger gaming titles, which at the rate Immutable is going, man, how much bigger can you get? Now, another game that is coming to Immutable very soon, and this is thanks to the Immutable ZK EVM, as well as the Immutable Passport, which a couple of the titles that have dropped, I've played a couple of them. I'm gonna tell you about it, guys. The experience using that Immutable Passport, it is seamless. One email, one account, all games. It literally works like that. But this is one of the titles, guys, Blast Royale, and it is much like it sounds. It's a battle royale style game. One thing I want you to pay attention to, though, is the community. Oh, 220,000 followers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with typical projects, that's a number to have, yes. But when you're talking about gaming, I think it's a bit more significant because that represents your core audience, so to speak. So Blast Royale coming to Immutable. Game looks pretty fun. This one I haven't played yet, but there's a community around it, which for gaming, that's the strongest thing you want to see. Now we also have another very interesting title. This one, Desperado B218. This is giving me anime vibes. This is, I can't recall the name of it right now, but it's a game that used to come out on Xbox. Not relevant, but this game looks very nice, ladies and gentlemen. $10.8 million raised. It'll be a collectible RPG, and it'll probably launch later this year. This one has a pretty strong community behind it as well. Not as big as Blast Royale, but this is a newer title, so that's to be expected. Now, on top of that, we have Wag Me Defense launching summer of 2024. Now, what caught my attention about this one, guys, and you'll see here in a second, I'm gonna make this big, the animation. Now, in our portfolio video, I believe I brought up the importance of animation on the blockchain. Now, this particular piece, not gonna say that it was animated on blockchain, but these animated properties, these animated pieces that are for blockchain related projects, fans of animation, unless they dig deep enough, they won't realize that it's related to a blockchain project. This is an angle of blockchain gaming this is the way that it reaches the mainstream. So if you come across a title that has this, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that they have the best shot of surviving long term, because there's a story. And when you have a story, you have continuity. You can build a legacy. You can build a world. You can build characters. And from that, you can build fandoms. That's what's going to bring so much value to blockchain games, are the fandoms. Take a look at Comic-Con or any other Yumacon, anime convention, comic book convention, superhero convention. In the future, I'm seeing Web3 gaming conventions. Now, we had a couple closed betas ran up until May 14th. Metalore was one of them. You guys know I've been excited about this title for a very long time. I wasn't able to play the closed beta. That was on me. But once this game goes public, I'm definitely going to be first in line. I might even record myself playing it. Hey, you know, Web3 gameplays, they have not caught on yet. Outside of Metalore, we also had another release, and I thought I had that up here. Yes, Medieval Empires. They also had their open beta that ran until May 14th. This is your strategic turn-based style war strategy game. That's not my stilo. I was definitely more excited about Metalore. On top of that, courtesy of Ghost, who is a Web3 game developer of his own. He's the founder of Planet X. And what we have here is a demonstration of the game that he wants to put on Immutable. Now, I'll admit to you, very interesting, very interesting. What I like is open world games seem to be, that was his dog. Anyway, open world games seem to be the ticket when it comes to blockchain games. And I think that has a lot to do with the extra processing power that you get with blockchain. Still learning about it. I could be totally wrong, but just on the surface, that's the way it's coming off, guys. So Planet X sneak peek, that looks good. No definitive timeline on when we can see that. But we also have Zoids. Now, if that name rang a bell, yes, it's the exact same one that cartoon that we all grew up watching if we couldn't watch Gundam, right? Zoids Wild Arena announced that they will be incorporating Immutable's passport into their game. And like I said, I've been using the passport to play games on Immutable, and it is seamless, fast, efficient, and then what you don't have to worry about, load times. I'm still waiting on a loading screen. Besides the main title page, you don't see a lot of that. But this is courtesy of ACT, and they've established themselves as a leader in IP licensing, and they're bringing Takara Tomi's Zoids to life exclusively on Immutable. So this is another recognized IP that is making its way to Immutable. And make sure I follow them. So when you compare this with Mon Protocol attracting more IPs, big gaming titles, this is going to just make Immutable look even better because they're able to support these large IPs. Speaking of large IPs, The Watch also announced that they would be launching on Immutable, raising $7 million backed by Ubisoft, and their team has experience from Netflix, Sony, and the Fall Guys. They're going to be bringing this player versus player battle style game to Immutable. So let's see, do I have? Yeah, I have the trailer here. And again, the animation quality, top notch. This is important to have though, when you want to, again, create a fandom. You got to give people something to be invested in. Now I'm still doing the digging on The Watch. Looks like a sci-fi dystopian shooter type deal, open world. Again, leaning into the strength of Web3 games. So that's another one I'm excited about. Now, this one here, Arena of Faith, will be launching on Immutable ZK EVM. And this one is backed by Tencent. I remember when I first started covering Immutable, I wasn't 100% on the Tencent connection. Well, I can tell you now, yeah, Tencent is behind Immutable. Now, if you don't know what that means, Tencent is one of the largest companies in the world. Their team has experience from Ubisoft, Shingju, Tencent, Taiyami Studios, developing titles including Smite and Honor of Kings. So we have another experienced team building out a signature IP on Immutable. The Tencent backing, that looks good. Now, another title here. This is the one that I was playing last night. Guild of Guardian launched last night, ladies and gentlemen. Well, within the last 48 hours. This is the one that I was able to jump right into using my existing Immutable Passport account, which you can set up once you go to claim your gems, which we'll talk about at the end of this. But this is a simple turn-by-turn strategy game, you know, the type of game where you don't control the fighting ability of the characters themselves, but you control and manage the attributes of the character. Graphics are pretty cool. Gameplay was solid. It's not a world-changing game, not yet anyway. We don't know how quick these things could catch traction, but what I did notice was all of the elements that would keep someone interested. I haven't played a video game consistently in years, I'll admit that, but this game kept my attention for at least 2 hours. I'll just say that. So, still wondering and learning about the earn elements, which is a point that needs to be made here. The future of play-to-earn games is kind of dark when you consider the fact that once you start creating a monetized ecosystem around your game, then you automatically end up having to deal with securities laws. So I think what we're going to eventually see for Web3 gaming is more focus on games, the titles. Let the network show off the power of the chain. Let the graphics, the gameplay, the open worlds show off the value of the chain. I think we are already past the point where the initial marketing is no longer how much you can earn. Now, thanks to players like Immutable, players like Ronin, players like Scale, they are changing the perception. And it's going to fall in line similar to the perception that Web3 game titles have, Web3 game companies have. What games are you producing that should make me pay attention to you? I think that's where we're headed, guys. Now, this next one, man, it warmed my heart. It really did. Brought everything full circle. Do I have to tell you how excited I was about this one? Longtime viewers, listeners, you guys know I'm a wrestling fan, and this was just perfect. So, another game that you can use, sign in with your Immutable Passport, AEW Figure Fighters. Now, yeah, I was watching AEW last night, and they did promote this game. They didn't say it was running on Immutable X, but we have a blockchain game that just received mainstream promotion, mainstream marketing. That's the biggest piece right there. Is this Web3 game, this blockchain game, is finna now circulate. Yeah, it's circulating through the wrestling community. AEW is a very promising company. They're the fastest rising wrestling promotion of the last 20 years. So they got a lot of attention right now. All it's gonna take is people to download this title, fish around, look at the frequently asked questions. Now they're learning about blockchain technology. Absolutely mind-blowing, guys. So, you know, I downloaded this. Me and the kids, we had fun. It's a simple play, simple, easy to play. It's a lot like the Guild of Guardians, where you don't exactly control the wrestlers fully, but you can select certain moves, upgrade those moves, add moves, stuff like that. So very easy to pick up and play. And again, the element of the blockchain is hidden. That's what's going to get us there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, last thing I got for you. Pretty cool looking title. Again, with the animation, the story, these trailers here, they are giving a whole lot. Bad Mad Robots will now launch exclusively on Immutable's ZK EVM. This is another battle royale open world shooter, but it's far from finished. This one, we definitely got a few months to go. As a matter of fact, they are still at the pre-beta stage. Only for Windows right now, but you can pre-order, get in position through the Epic Games Store. So very interesting, very cool looking. And I want to leave you with this here. Co-founder of Immutable, Robbie Ferguson. He says Immutable has signed 100 games since January, nearly the entirety of 2023's record in the first 4 months. They've onboarded a record 300,000 unique signups last week to Passport's wallet on ZK EVM, most driven by Alluvium and Coco the Game and Gems. 2 games out of 300. Just those 2. Once the rest of these games come online and get active, ladies and gentlemen, again, we got a long way to go. And my assumption is that this next bull run is going to dwarf the last one. I'm talking double. Everything's gonna double. Immutable hit 9 last bull run. I'm aiming for 20. Check out the short I made about it. I'm still holding on to that. I think I put Immutable at $16 by the end of 2025. With all of these titles that they have getting ready to launch, and the Immutable Passport making it easy to play any of these games, whether you have blockchain experience or not, I don't know what else to tell you, folks. Again, very strong year for Immutable right now, up $2.40. Now, let me take you over here to show you the daily gems, which I need to claim more of. But if you want to claim these, imx.community/gems. And what it'll do, it'll give you a chance to sign up for your Immutable Passport. Download the Immutable Passport. It works across all your platforms. So if you want to play a game on your mobile, use your same email address. You'll be able to access your passport from your mobile. If you want to play on a desktop, same story. That ease of use is what is going to make Immutable one of the most valuable gaming chains on the planet. All right. Now I'm out. I am looking for competition just to do some comparisons, keep everything level and fair. But up until this point, ladies and gentlemen, not seeing anything else. So with that, that's the update. If you're looking to pick up some IMX, I'm using Uphold right now. They're a channel partner. So yes, if you decide to use the link in the description, I do get compensated. I want to thank you in advance. Now, keep in mind, crypto assets are risky, so never put in more than what you're willing to lose. However, if you do decide to take that risk, I would advise you to put your crypto on a hardware wallet device. The hardware wallet I'm using is the SafePal S1. Been using it for a few years. That's why I made them a channel partner, guys. I've never had an issue with this wallet. So again, links in the description. I thank you in advance. Now it's time for the best part. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.